Morning, everybody, and welcome to the live weekly coaching session. And today I am joined with Marie and the lovely Jennifer, and we're going to have an amazing conversation. So what I really wanted to talk to you guys about today and unpack is something that I have been having really interesting experience with in the last couple of weeks, and something I've been observing. This kind of rub between living an aligned life. So opportunities present themselves, you feel super aligned, people, places, jobs, opportunities come to you, and feeling in flow and feeling like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and feeling joy. And the opposite of that, of expecting everything to be easy. So I'm really having big conversations in my world at the moment where I'm saying people seem to have, in my opinion, misinterpreted what this is. So for me, I can be in alignment. I can be absolutely pursuing my dreams, my passions, feel like I'm on track. And it can also be a bit hard. Like I can be taking inspired action to produce what I want in my life, for sure. And some of that inspired action can be a bit tedious, can be a bit boring, can be a bit stuff that I don't really want to do, can be hard, can take me 12 hours, can take me working till midnight or beyond, right? And the difference is I'm enjoying the process of doing this hard thing because it's taking me closer to what I want to achieve. And I feel like this message has been misinterpreted out there, that everything should be easy and we should be having a good time all the time. Now, I'm somebody, I'm very spiritual. I feel like we need to be in alignment. My emotions are very important to me. If I'm feeling off emotionally, I stop. I dig in. I'm like, what's going on here? What am I thinking? What am I creating? What are my beliefs around this that are making me feel this way? How can I shift that? How can I learn? How can I lean in? And I feel like there's a bit of a miscommunication, even when it comes to my marriage. Like when you talk about marriage, yes, it should not be hard work, right? A good marriage, when you're with somebody that's amazing and that they're your soul partner, etc., your marriage in itself, in essence, shouldn't be hard work. However, in the 30 years that Ian and I have been together, and he's my soulmate, he's my best friend, like we get on like a house on fire, it's amazing. But there have been periods of time and long periods of time where we've been in situations where he has not shown up as the partner that I signed up for. Right. And I'm not talking about anything to do with violence or anything to do with anything like that. Like, he's a great guy. He's wonderful. He's all of those things. I'm just not that sort of person that could tolerate that in my life. But there are times when he hasn't been at his best, and like for 18-month periods where I'm like, you're being an a-hole. Do you know what I mean? Like, I really am not enjoying living with you right now. But having the experience and the knowledge and the safety, knowing this is what's happening right now, making you behave like this isn't the core of who you are. And so we have navigated through really hard, challenging times. And I feel like people are shying away from things being challenging, things being hard, wanting everything to be easy, wanting everything to feel completely calm and zen. And don't get me wrong, that is the goal. That's why we're here. But I also feel like, as well, some of it is hard. We have to show up for ourselves. There's sometimes it's attached to fear that we have to push through. There's a million things that we do in our day that we wouldn't rather do, but we do it out of love, or we do it out of it's taking us to where we want to go. And I was really interested in unpacking that, because I feel like there's a lot of anxiety right now out there. There's a lot of fractions in people's foundations, because they've got this image of what it should be, and their reality at this moment in time isn't matching up to that, and then it's causing this negative ripple effect throughout their lives where I feel like if they had more of a grounded expectation of what success looks like, what alignment looks like, what, all of these things look like, perhaps it would make it easier and support them more in their journey. I know that's a big topic, guys, but this has been really on my mind. And so I'd love for you to weigh in.
I love it. I like, if you don't mind, I want to quickly say something about that, what you just said, the fracture in their base, did you call it? The
Yeah, in
foundation.
the foundations,
And
yeah.
I love this image so much because I always say that self-love is the foundation to everything. And this works so well with what you just said, is what you're building, nurturing you. This is all coming back to self love. Self love is the base for everything to me. It's the foundation. I cannot build an empire on sand. It needs to have a solid foundation. And for me, that is self love. It's always coming back to, is this nurturing me? The bigger goal, not every tiny little minute thing that is, driving us crazy in between, but also the other thing that I find really important with that is when you said the alignment, then it's supposed to be easy. And I'm like, I think there is this difference if you look at it from the perspective of, are you in alignment and everything should just flow? Or if you're like, okay, I am in alignment, but not every tiny little detail in my life is in alignment, or in that project at work is in alignment. So for me, it's more like putting the focus on what are the parts that are not in alignment, because it doesn't mean that I'm completely out of alignment. I can still be aligned with my goal, and this is my mission, and my biggest vision and mission is this, and you can feel connected to it, and you're in the right path. And there will be things that are out of alignment on the way, whether that is having to rely on somebody, and there is a system that it needs to do. Like, the platform, we've talked about it a lot. We've done so much work. You've done so much work in fine tuning it to make it easier for every member coming in. And there's still little things that happen here and there that need to be tweaked, and need to be twisted and redone. And that's okay. It is something that is out of your hands. So it doesn't have anything to do with your alignment. Do you know what I mean? I think it's
Mm-hmm.
just the perspective, how we look at it. And same with the marriage, thank you for sharing that. It's really beautiful that you share that so openly, because those 18 months doesn't mean that you and or Ian were out of alignment. It's probably the way you communicated might have been a little bit out of alignment, or a lot, and to look at those things that need to be realigned or recalibrated or rediscussed or renegotiated.
Mm.
It doesn't mean that then your entire marriage is out of alignment, or you are out of alignment with living with Ian, having family with Ian. So I think it's really being a bit clearer on what's actually missing, rather than throwing the kid out with the bath, or what is the saying? I don't even know.
Baby out with the bathwater.
That one. I knew there was
Yeah,
something with a bathtub.
it's totally. And
Yeah.
and here's the thing as well. It's, understanding that I'm not the same person that he married,
Exactly.
and he's not the same person that I married.
Mm.
But we have so much history together that when things come up in their heart, we have the intention and goal and vision and mission of evolving together. Like, we're evolving separately and we're evolving together. And we've had some
Yeah.
hard conversations where we've said, hey,
Yeah.
this is not working for me anymore in this particular
Mm.
way. I've grown beyond that now. This is how I'm receiving that. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it's a
Yeah.
continual growth as individuals that, and this is so important to me. Within a marriage, within a partnership, whatever you've got, a friendship even, your individual evolving and unfolding and becoming has always got to be your first priority, in my opinion. And
I
then you
think so too.
hope that you're with somebody who is doing that work on themselves, and it's two people who are living an experience, who are completely independent of each other, who choose each other every day.
That's beautiful. I love that.
And I think that's so important. And just to add to that, before we go to Jennifer, when you were speaking, Marie, what I was thinking was, imagine that you're on a road trip, right? And then you get a flat tire, which was not on the plans. It's not in your vision. It doesn't feel good, right? And you go, well, I wanted to go to Hawaii, but I've got a puncture, and so we're going home. You don't do that. You change the
No.
tire and you carry
Yeah.
on. And then your
Yeah.
radiator explodes or
Yeah.
something happens and you get it fixed and you carry on. And so I feel like that's the kind of thing that we're talking about, is that it doesn't all need to be in alignment, but also the challenges that we do have. And this is something I've been having a conversation with clients quite a lot lately, is okay, they come to me, they're frustrated, they're angry, they're upset, they feel weary, they feel tired, and all the things. And this is why I do my clients virtually, so they can't reach through the screen and grab me or punch me, because I'm confrontational. And I say, okay, cool. How is this serving you? Now, they don't want to be asked that question.
Of course not.
Because they're in a place right now where it feels a bit gross and it feels a bit annoying and it feels a bit tiring and it feels challenging. But that's the magic of that situation, is when you can go, how is this serving me? Like yesterday, I got feedback. You guys know I've been working tirelessly in the background. Nothing will stop me. Like today, I'm stood because I've hurt my back. It won't stop me. I've done sessions with my clients lying down this week. I'm determined to keep going. With rest in between. I do believe in self-nurturing. But you know, the thing is, it's about keeping it true to where you're going, keeping that vision in your mind, and every single thing that comes up and challenges you serves you in some way. So you go forward feeling, didn't really want that, wouldn't have chosen it. However, I've discovered this about myself, or it's given me an opportunity to grow, or it's highlighted a blind spot that I had that's actually undermining me, and it feels uncomfortable, right? And
Yes,
like yesterday, I got feedback for a project. I have thrown about 40 hours into this project. And I got feedback yesterday and it was all ready to go, right? I was all ready to send. And I got feedback, and the person giving me feedback went, I'm a bit nervous about giving you feedback because some people don't receive it very well. And I went, don't sugarcoat it. Give it to me brutally. I really appreciate the time that you've taken to dismantle this. I need to know what my blind spots are so I can be successful. But I tell you what, girls, I didn't have the energy, the strength, the emotional capacity to deal with it yesterday. I just went, I can't do this today. I can't believe I'm going to have to unpack it and I'm going to have to redo it. I'm going to do it tomorrow. And today I will do it. But it was hard because I poured 40, I polished it. I've done everything. It was ready to send. And the feedback they gave me was phenomenal. And I went, shit, that's so good. I'm going to have to do it all again. Jennifer, what do you think?
Oh, gosh, take a breath. It's what you've both said. It's huge, and the unpacking of everything is huge. Where do you start from? I've been through that flat tire moment these last few months with energies, and I feel with emotions, and the last few months have been a really big struggle. So I've had to turn within and look to me and questioning, just forever questioning what I'm doing, what I'm feeling, why I'm doing it, and facing those challenges, but doing it from within me before I can do it on the outside. And
that's big.
Huge revelations again. Tiny steps, but huge revelations, if that makes sense. And and being in alignment. When my emotions are out, I'm out. I don't function.
Yeah, totally.
I really struggle to function. So I have to go within and just sit with myself and do a lot of meditations and just being to bring that alignment back. And that's just how it works for me. And now I'm kind of getting back on track. But I've had to do that the last couple of months because I've had all those moments, all those challenges go away. I don't want to face them, but knowing I have to, and then but sitting with each one and, okay, which one am I going to face today? And just choose one and just deal with it and sit with it and feel through it all. And it's hard. It's really hard, but once I've done it and gone through it, it's like, yeah, I needed that. It wasn't so bad after all. And it's facing reality, what I'm capable of, what I'm looking toward. You know, that there's so many, it's like being on a roller coaster sometimes, but always bringing it back in, reining the emotions back in. And when I'm there, and I'm ready to roll again. And the last few days, things have been moving again. And that's because I'm coming back into alignment with me and who I am and my beliefs and what I'm doing. And it's a really interesting world. It's really, yeah.
What I love about what you said, though, Jennifer, is the power in what you said, which is I'm so self-aware that I know when I'm out of alignment. And here's the piece, right? There's a choice in that awareness. You can either go, this is just it. This is it how it is. And you live in that forever or more. Or you go, I'm out of whack right now. Like, I don't know what's going on. There's something weird happening. I'm acknowledging it. I'm feeling it. I'm going to dig into it. I'm going to honor it. Instead of pushing it aside, and instead of ramming it down and not trying to feel it, because that can be a tendency, because of course we don't want to feel pain. We don't want to feel uncomfortable. We don't want to feel confronted in any way. And sometimes we have to face parts of ourselves that are a bit gloopy, and you think, oh, that's not a very nice part of myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, I really, I
being
and
honest
wish
with
that
yourself.
wasn't there.
Yeah.
But
And
the
it took
power
me a
at the
long
end of
time
that.
to learn that.
Yeah.
It took me forever to learn that. But once I did, it just opened everything up. Yeah. Instead of walking around being that horrible, grumpy person, it's just
I love the vulnerability in all of that. You know, what you shared, Kathy, about your 18 months with Ian, and what you just shared, Jennifer. I had really draining energy weekend, and said to Kathy, you know, and I'm well overdue with sending my contribution to the April Summit, which I recorded this morning, and it's with Kathy now, so I'm glad it's done. And when I was out of that funk, I could sit down and do it in half an hour because I had everything in my head. I had the presentation prepared, I just hadn't recorded it, you know. And I know that when I record something, I want to be in the giving energy. And when you feel drained and empty, it's really hard to give. And that's exactly what you just shared, Jennifer. And I really love your openness about that, because so often we look at various people that, you know, are referred to as leaders in their industry, and we think they have it all together because they're leaders, but they don't. We all, like, if we had it together and we were so aligned all the time, I don't think that we'd be here anymore. That's my honest spiritual belief.
100%,
This is a human experience, you know. This is what we learn, this is what we do. It is the journey to becoming whole, and when we are, that's when we transition. That's my spiritual belief. I really want to honor that everyone's belief is different, but if I was so perfect and in alignment all the time, 100% of the time, 24/7, I think I'd be transitioning. I'd be going home. You know, that to me is the sort of belief that I have and really carry in my heart. So I'm not done yet. I can tell you that.
It is a journey, isn't it?
Looking at my last weekend, I'm not done yet.
It is a journey, and it's a big journey. And just when you think you're coming to the end, something happens again. And, you know.
But what is the end? What do you think is the end?
I don't know that there is an end. I think we're just forever growing and evolving, and, you know, as we face those challenges,
I think so too.
You move along again, and you grow again, and you elevate again, and then you come across another challenge, and things might be okay for a little while.
Yeah.
You know, and that happens to me all the time. Then I have to take a step back and go, okay, what's going on? And then elevation, then plateau, feeling good, and then crumble. You know,
sounds like
I'm
a perfect human
probably
journey to me.
mess more than I am anything else.
Here I am back in the chrysalis again, god damn it. But I mean, here's something as well that's another layer of complexity that came up for me, that when you guys were talking, was when you're going through, I call it the chrysalis, right? So with the caterpillar, then with the chrysalis, where it's dark and scary and gloopy and unknown and messy, and then we come out of the butterfly. But that's just not one time. We do that on a loop, right? In different areas of our lives, of the different unfoldings and all of that. But what came up for me there was really interesting, because I thought when you're in the chrysalis, there's a couple of things that come up for me when I'm in the chrysalis. Number one, managing other people's expectations of me. So I've just been through because I've just been through something in my life, because we're forever evolving, we're forever, growing, and we're all learning these lessons. And I've just been through something pretty significant in my personal life. Not within my little unit, but outside. And I have found it really, really hard. And I tried to communicate with Ian, my husband, and a couple of my older kids, and they were sort of saying, "Yeah, but Mum, or Kath, this is this and that is that, and you've got to let that go," and da 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 da. And I was like, I'm there logically.
Yeah.
Everything you're saying makes perfect sense to me, but I don't feel it. And that was the first conversation. Huge. And then the second conversation, I had to say, you're not getting it. I know I'm super evolved in so many different ways, but I'm struggling with this.
Yeah.
I cannot get into my enlightened being right now. There's a lot of stuff coming up from my childhood. There's a lot of stuff that's bubbling to the surface that I didn't know was still there, that I thought I dealt with, right? And so having to manage everybody else's expectations and say, hey, I know that normally I'm like, I juggle a lot in my life, as you know. I try to do everything to a high standard. I'm pretty good at delivering. But on this particular occasion, I was like, guys, it's not happening. I am in this particular issue with this particular person. I don't feel involved in any way. And so I really need your support. I need you to listen. I need you to understand from my perspective what's happening in my body right now, because I said everything you're saying is logical, but I don't feel it.
Yeah.
So that's been really interesting. And also when we were in the chrysalis, understanding how everybody else is experiencing the same reality differently.
Yeah.
And so, like, for us as a FIFO family, there's times when I've been in the emergency room with my 5 children for 8 hours because I didn't have anybody that could help me.
Yeah.
Because I'm an immigrant.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't get on the phone and go, God damn it, Ian, because of you, I've had to do this and you weren't here and blah, 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 which I could easily do and nobody would fault me for, right?
Yeah.
But I'm in that situation knowing he's there feeling terrible that he's not there to support me. So it's about having that radical empathy for how somebody else is experiencing the same situation as you are differently.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And so that's another layer of complexity on, should it be easy? Should it be hard? But it's not just my experience, it's everybody in my orbit's experience as well. And how can I accommodate for that?
Yeah. I want to say to that, Kathy, I think the biggest, encouragement I want to give out to people watching this is to not compare. Your situation is always so different to others. I had so many people say things to me about, oh, you would get it. You're a single mom too. I'm like, no, I'm a sole parent. I'm it. There's only me. There is, and I get it that you in that moment feel the exact same way, because Ian is miles away and can't be there for you. You're sitting in the emergency room. So that experience might be very similar to when I had to take both my kids, and I only have 2. So it's definitely a lot easier, see, but that's the comparison thing. It doesn't help anyone, because I've been in the emergency room in the middle of the night with both of them because Rob died. He's not here. He's not to be called upon at all. He can support me, emotionally in any way. But you know what I mean? There's this, I think, comparison is really completely hindering the opportunity to be in the moment, to heal things, because we often go and damn, this is so hard for me right now. So we look at other people that have it easier from our perspective, yet we have no idea what's actually going on behind the scenes in their life. So I think that's a really good reminder when you go through deep situation to really just stay in the moment and be present, and then go the bigger picture, the zoom, like being present first and then the zooming out and looking at it. That has often helped me through these situations, because it is quite easy to slip into comparison in that moment and go like, dang, it's so hard for me right now. Yeah, I think
agree
we all
with you
have
on
really
that,
hard
Marie.
moments.
Just being present with you, and
Yeah, it's not always easy in the moment, is it?
no,
But
no.
it's so helpful. Yeah.
We could all have the same experience, but feel it differently. Did I say that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And looking from within and being in that present moment is so important.
I agree.
To get you through.
Yeah. I mean, I think as well, you know, it's, I mean, we've been asked several times by several different people, you know, how do you make your marriage last with the challenges that you have? And my answer to that is I'm always wondering how Ian's experiencing it, and he's always wondering how I'm experiencing it.
That's gold.
And I think that's really key. And as you said, Marie, just to speak to you, what are you saying there? It's like grief. Everyone's journey through grief is totally different.
So different.
Totally different. And even I've spoken to parents who've grieved a child together, and even that they go through it completely separately and completely differently. And the key of holding space, because you're going through different stages at different times and trying to keep the connection between each other while you're going through it. I mean, it's immense. So I really love the point that you made about not comparing, because I think a lot of us do that with social media, with all of that sort of thing. Think I should be doing better,
you see all
right?
the beautiful parts in
I
everyone's
should be doing
life.
better.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So in a nutshell, expecting everything to be easy versus living in alignment. Different things I think we've uncovered in this conversation. And 100%. I feel like definitely don't stay in a situation that makes you feel gross or sad or depressed or empty. That's your whole guidance system saying this is not right for you. But don't confuse that with challenging times that you need to change the flat tire to keep going to Hawaii.
And I think that's a tricky part, to know the difference.
And that's that deep self-love and trust that you were talking about at the beginning. Yeah, beautiful. Well, thank you so much, ladies. I know that you're very busy and you've got other things to do, so I really appreciate this conversation, and more people are wanting to join every week, which is fantastic, because these conversations are going to be even juicier. So anything else you want to say to wrap up?
No,
just be you.
Stay present, eh? Be you, stay present.
Be present, just be you.
Yeah,
I love that.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Bye.